Hi VC, this is Aaron Muthalamir, and today I am finishing up my thread response to Dan over at Dots and Loops and his thread of Show Me Your Tapes. So I'll try to finish it in this section here. I just thought I've always wanted to show them because I've had these since the 80s, 90s, whenever they came out. And so this is a good excuse to do it. So here, actually, the last one, there's two cassettes that slipped through the cracks somehow. I went back to put them away and noticed I didn't show two of them. So I got a bunch of them lined up here, 30, 40 tapes or something. So it's easy to miss a couple when you're trying to get them all. So I start out with Lord Tracy, Deaf Gods of Babylon. Great album. This is killer. This is just a killer record. And the lead singer, Terry Lee Lays, was the original singer on the first three Pantera records. But I love this. This is a killer record, Lord Tracy. And then London Choir Boys, Bit of What You Fancy. Really good band. They're like a bluesy hard rock band, kind of like with a Rod Stewart style singer, mixed with like Rolling Stones type music. A little heavier, but really cool party music. Good stuff there. I got some Saigon Kicks debut. Really good. Great band from Florida. Met these guys when I saw them live in Portland, and they were real cool. Hung out with us for a bit. And then got Saigon Kicks Water. Really great, underrated album here. They do a version of Space Oddity on here that's really cool. Really good album. Water's good. And some Salty Dog, Every Dog Has Its Day. Great album. I just picked this up on CD, so now I have the trifecta of cassette, CD, and vinyl on this one. It's one of my favorite albums. Really killer stuff. Salty Dog, they're a bluesy metal band, really killer. I mean, Lonesome Fool's a great song. Every song's good. Come Along, my friend's band used to play, and they just, it was one of the highlights of their show every time. Everyone thought it was their song because it wasn't really well known, but it's really good. Really killer album all the way through, killer. Some Joe Satriani, Flying in Blue Dreams, my favorite Joe Satriani. He sings 4 or 5 songs on this, I think 4. One of them is Big Bad Moon, a really bluesy one, heavy blues song. It's really cool. The phone number song is really cool. Really good album. I love this one. Virgin Killer from Scorpions. It's a good one. Then I got some Love Drive. Old Scorpions, really good. I love them. Worldwide Live on cassette. And then some Face the Heat. And here's a really great one. This is The Scream with Let It Scream. And this is John Corabi's first band that he had an album with. I believe it's his first. And this is killer. I really love this album. Outlaw, Man on the Moon. Every song's good on this. Killer. And I was so excited when he joined Motley Crue because I love this album. And I like that Motley Crue one too. That's a good one. So the Sea Hags, one of my favorites. I've had this ever since it came out. This is kind of the reason I'm in the VC, is from through the Sea Hags and Chris Brophy. So that's pretty cool. Listened to this a million times. Great album. This is Shark Island with Law of the Order. Pretty good album. Some Shooting Gallery. And this is the guitarist from Hanoi Rocks. And they do Don't Never Leave Me for the Hanoi Rocks song on here. And they also do a version of Brown Eyed Girl, the Van Morrison song. That's really cool. This is really good. It's kind of a hard rock, bluesy, pretty good stuff there. Shooting Gallery. Saigon Kicks debut. Great album. They're a really good band. And then their amazing follow-up, Second Coming. It's one of my favorite albums ever. It's one of my biggest grails for vinyl. Love that album. Some Silverchair with Freak Show. Really good. It's their second record. This is actually, I like this better than their debut. Really good. Kind of alternative metal. Good stuff there. One of my favorites, Sister Whiskey. Liquor and Poker. Great album. This is one of my favorite party records from when I was younger, teenage years and early 20s. Me and my friends listened to this nonstop. I mean, we'd play it over and over while we were partying, drinking beers. Really great album. It's bluesy, hard rock, kind of in the Sweet FA vein, but not quite as heavy, but pretty close. It's really good. I'd categorize them kind of with Sweet FA, Four Horsemen, Sister Whiskey, kind of the same type of bluesy metal, really cool stuff. Besides Ourselves from Skid Row. Slave to the Grind. This is the version that's the unedited version. I used to have the version with Baker's Day on it as well, but I don't have it anymore. And my favorite, Skid Row, Subhuman Race. Saw them on tour for this album. They were really good. Did a really long version of Eileen that was really cool. I love that song. Beat Yourself Blind is one of my favorites. You know, every song on this. This is an amazing record. Slam and Gladys, pretty good band. I think they're from Alabama. Not positive though. I've got Stick It To You from Slaughter. Up All Night cassette single with Eye to Eye and Stick It To You medley on it. That's alright. The Wildlife, their second album. That's a good album. And this is my favorite Slaughter. This is Fear No Evil. It's always been my favorite. It's upside down. But this is a killer album, Searching, and yeah, this is great stuff. Sleazebees was Screwed, Blued, and Tattooed. Great album. That's their debut, I believe. Killer stuff here. And then Power Tool, another great one. This is as good as that first one. It's really good. Killer album. And then some Smash Gladys with Social Intercourse. That's a great band. Sally Cato, the lead singer, female singer. And the cassette is unique of this record. The first song, Lick It Into Shape, the first line of it is different on only the cassette. The album and CD have like an edited version of it. So the only way you get the original version of that is on the cassette. And it's really killer. It's probably my favorite female-fronted hard rock bands. They're really good. Soundgarden with Screaming Live Fop. Really killer. Love Soundgarden. And some Ultra Mega OK. And one of my favorites here. This is Spread Eagle. Love this album. I have it on vinyl. One of my favorite vinyl listens. Killer. One of the heaviest sleaze rock bands there was. They were really killer. Amazing album. Darkness on the Edge of Town from Bruce Springsteen. Debut from Steelheart with the original cover. And then they changed it. It had like a bunch of gems forming a heart on the second version of the cover. Really good album. And then Tangled in Rains, their follow-up, really good as well. Some Steppenwolf with 16 Greatest Hits. Cat Stevens, T for the Tillerman. Stone Temple Pilots, Core. Izzy Stradlin and the Juju Hounds. Great album here. It's my favorite of any of the Guns N' Roses solo works. Killer stuff. Do a version of Pressure Drop on here, which the Clash did, and it's really good. Killer all the way through. That's a great record. Built for Speed by the Stray Cats. Sublime with 40 Ounces to Freedom. Sweet FA, Stick to Your Guns, one of my favorite albums of all time. I talk about them a lot, and for a reason. I've had this cassette since the day it came out, and I haven't stopped listening to them ever since. If they would have had more albums, they'd be my top 2 or 3 bands of all time. They're that good. I love this band. Killer stuff. Stick to Your Guns, Sweet FA. And then Temptation from Sweet FA. Amazing record too. Really killer. Love these 2 Sweet FA records. 2 of my favorites of all time. Sword with Sweet Dreams. Amazing album. Love this one. Have it on vinyl. I traded from a friend named, his name's Ken Squires. Traded me his vinyl copy. I traded a couple really good records for it. But this is a killer album. It's kind of just straightforward heavy metal, kind of power metal-ish. Not quite thrash, but almost that heavy in parts. Really killer stuff. I've got some Psychotic Supper from Tesla. And here's a really cool one. This is the Throbs with the Language of Thieves and Vagabonds. Had Come Down Sister on here and Underground. Oh yeah, this is a great record. Ocean of Love is on this. Love this album, the Throbs. They kind of sound like if you were to mix Skid Row and The Cult, maybe. Pretty cool. Tora with Surprise Attack. That's why this is one of my grails when I saw Todd the Thrashing Zombie Todd Guy, the Thrashing Zombie had. I traded for it, the vinyl, and it's one of my favorites. I've always loved this album. And then this is another great one, Wild America, their follow-up. Man, this is a good album too. Amnesia, I love that song. Love this whole album. Dead Man's Hand, you know, it's killer album. And this one's kind of a goofy one. This is T-Ride. It's kind of a heavy metal with a little bit of rap hybrid kind of stuff. It's all right, nothing great. This is a good one though. This is the Trouble, self-titled. Love this album. It's the song Black Shapes of Doom. I just love that song. This whole album's really good though. I love this one. Trouble. Killer album there. And then I got some Tough with What Comes Around Goes Around. This is a really good album. I like these guys a lot. I saw them live, and they were really good live. Killer stuff. And I have their follow-up, Fist First. This is as good as that first one. This is a great record. Tied to the Bells, how it starts. In Dogs We Trust. Great album. They do a really cool version of 16 Tons on here. That's really cool. I think it's Tennessee and Ernie Ford that did that, if I remember right. Some 220 Volt. Great album. And Twisted Sister, Big Hits and Nasty Cuts. And the first side is like a greatest hits, and the second side is some live tracks taken from a show from the Marquee Club. And I saw Cloudy Milder in his background. He had that that record back there, and I mentioned it to him. And this is the second side of this is certain tracks from that. And Dee Snider's banter in this is legendary. The song it's only rock and roll, but you like it. The Stones song they do on this, it's just the interaction with the crowd on that is just amazing. It's never heard anything like it. It's really good. If you like Twisted Sister, find this just for that live stuff or that record. But it's amazing. Better live. It's all stuff from Under the Blade, and it's better live than on the album. Here's one of my favorites. This is Union. This is John Corabi, who we saw previously from Scream, and Bruce Kulick from Kiss. Great album. I love this. Old Man Wise, and just every song's good on this. Killer. Oh, got some more Twisted Sister. Guess that one was out of place. Can't Stop Rock and Roll. Amazing record. One of the very best. One of the best heavy metal records ever made. And Under the Blade, my favorite Twisted Sister. They're both great. These are the two best. And then Stay Hungry's right there too, though. But those are just great records. Then I've got As Ugly as You Want to Be from Ugly Kid Joe. It's actually my favorite thing they've done, except for maybe their newest one. And it's an EP, really killer. And it has the version of Everything About You without the talking and stuff. It's just the song. I like that a lot better. It's kind of a really different record. When that first came out, it kind of blew my mind because it was so different. Got some Demons and Wizards from Uriah Heep. Great record. And then my favorite Uriah Heep, Look at Yourself. This is a killer. This almost sounds like a Deep Purple record. It's from the In Rock, Fireball, Machine Head era. This would fit right in with them. Killer album. One of my favorites, Vain with No Respect. Listen to this cassette millions of times, I swear. Me and my friends used to party listen to a lot too. Great album. Some Veruca Salt with American Thighs. Good band. I like them. Those two female guitarists and singers. I think one of them might play bass. Tom Waits, Anthology. Got Dirty, Rotten, Filthy, Stinkin' Rich from Warrant. I had this tape before it got popular. I listened to it a lot. And Dog Eat Dog. Don't actually own a copy of Cherry Pie anymore on any format, which is odd. And then the classic Wasp debut. One of my favorites. I love this album. I'm a big Wasp fan though. And then this is a cool one. This is a Wasp Live Animal. It's really cool. It's got Animal on it, live, of course, along with Hellion and Mississippi Queen, which is cool. Then The Last Command. Inside the Electric Circus. Love that album. This and the first one are my two favorites. And then I got some Double Live Assassins. Oh, that's really good. Live album from after the D album, I believe. It's got a bunch of songs from that one on here, but it's got a lot of their old stuff. Really cool. Killer live album. Some White Lion with Pride. Slide It In from Whitesnake. Great album. Love that one. And self-titled, 1987 some people call it. I just call it Whitesnake. And then down to my last few here. This is a great one. White Tiger. Love this one. Of course, Mark St. John from Kiss right there. It was on the Animalize record. Killer stuff. This is one of my very favorites. This is Widowmaker. It's Dee Snider's band after Twisted Sister, and this album is so good. And it's got Al Pitrelli on guitar, Joe Franco on drums, and Mark Russell on bass. But this album is so good. I've probably heard this 500 times. I listened to it over and over and over when I first got it. Killer album. Blood and Bullets, Pissing Against the Wind. Killer stuff. Then I got Madeleine single from Winger. Peter Wolf with Lights Out. And my last two are ZZ Top Eliminator and Afterburner. And I used to have all those ZZ Tops on cassette. I used to have so many, but that's what I have left. So there's my cassettes. Really cool thread there, Dan. Cool deal. All right, everybody. Keep on rocking. Goodbye.